Hi Taurus, happy damn new year to you. Welcome to your first weekly Taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality of January 2024. I hope you are having a wonderful time of it. Let's get into it and see what is coming up for you for this week ahead. With that said, I've got lots of wonderful things to bring you this year. If you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and you want to get some of that Rafi love, hit the subscribe button. Also worth mentioning, these are for your sun, moon, and ascendant sign. Check them out for all three so that you know which part of you I resonate with most as a reader. With that said, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. All right, so we're going to start with your key to the week. Dun, dun, dun. So for this, you have, let's see how you start in this year with the Justice card, right? So the Justice card is Venus. Now, Venus tends to, the Justice card itself is legal matters, contracts, commitments, can be decisions and commitments, but it can also be dissolution of those things as well. Now, the Justice card is Venusian energy because it represents the sign of Libra. So you have a lot in common with this energy because it's an energy that you kind of understand, right? Now, what it means is in all of these different areas of life that we're going to explore for you, there are commitments that will need to be made or commitments that will need to be broken, and you are being asked the question, are you ready to commit to this or to this person or to this thing? So for your actions and options with the world at large, you've got the Nine of Swords. So there is something here that potentially maybe you've already committed to, and now you're starting to realize that you're going to be expected to show up and deliver on this. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It just means that you are sort of very acutely aware that this is going to take my time, it's going to take a lot of my effort, and I actually really need to focus here. I gotta be honest with you, Taurus, that Nine of Swords suggests you're going to try to do this thing where you're all up in your head and you're trying to overthink it and all the rest of it. You don't have the time for it. You really don't, all right? 2024 is not that year. Unless you're in a personal year 7 this year, 2024 is not that year, right? This is the time to do what you do best, put foot to ground and keep it going. Now, in terms of the options that are available to you, the Nine of Swords, especially with the Justice card, you can worry at your problems or you can just get on with it. All right, I know which most Taurians prefer. I know a little bit of tough love there from Raf. Usually my moon sign's like, oh my God, how can I help you? Come here. So, for those of you that don't know, if you're not in on the joke, Raf has a Cancer moon. Very proud of that fact, I might add, but it does make me a big softie. All right, so for your communications and conversations, you've got the Five of Swords. This is somewhat more tricky. The Five of Swords coupled with the Justice card is a legal dispute, all right? There's something here. Now, when I say legal dispute, it could be a legal matter that gets a little bit heated. This could be, you know, remember what I said to you about the Justice card being a dissolution of a contract as well. With the Five of Swords, this could see you parting ways with somebody when it comes to your work or your career, because this falls in your communications and conversations sector. The Five of Swords itself is arguments, conflict, challenge, and it asks you to remain yourself even in the midst of a challenging argument, right? So if you have a falling out with somebody, and the example I always give with this card is, if you're not the sort of person that swears, you have an argument with someone and then you come out of it and you're effing and blinding and you're calling all kinds of names, that has made you act in a way that's not really true to who you are. And so you walk away with, even if you win, you walk away with a really sour taste in your mouth. This is basically saying to you, remain in your integrity, keep it fair, keep it classy, keep it moving. All right. Now, for those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, this could be questions over funding, but it could just as easily be something about the subject matter that really doesn't sit very well with you. It's almost like a feeling of, yeah, you know what, there's a lot that I could say about this. And I have to say this, I've said this to you before many moons ago, but I'll say it again. Sometimes just knowing what you could say is enough. Yeah, all right. So for those of you that are employed by somebody else, again, watch out for what you commit to It looks like some of you might already be committed to this thing within your job or within your work sphere. Honestly, if you try to back out of it now, the chances are it will just end in an argument. So I would give it some time and space, go through the motions, and then when the energy is a bit stronger for you and with you, then you can look at making changes. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, this could be either a really demanding client or potentially a troublesome employee if you have them. Because it's the Five of Swords and it is the Justice card, if you are under contract to deliver something, you will be held to it and you will be held to account. It may also be as well, maybe a client says something to you about the service that you're offering or whatever it is that you're providing, and you think, oh, okay, I wasn't expecting that. Maybe it's some kind of feedback that you get. And, you know, when it's our work, we always take it personally. But, you know, you might get your heckles up over this and you kind of snap or you bite, or, you know, it could come across in a certain way. Now, for those of you that are retired and no longer working, honestly, this just looks like you're running around like a blue ass fly after everybody else. It doesn't feel like this is stuff. If you're retired and no longer working, it's like this isn't your stuff, it's everybody else's stuff, and you just happen to have been dragged into it. For your, I also want to mention on the 14th of January, the clearing cohort is going live. I am so excited about this. So every month we are going to be working through a specific theme. We're going to be working through, if you have been with me long enough, you know, I am super passionate about energy work, from Reiki right through to energy editing and all of the things that I've done in between. I love it because it gets results. Like, that's the only way that I can put it. The reason I'm so passionate about energy work is because for myself specifically, it's given me incredible results, and for my clients, it's created changes that some of them were like, dude, I don't know how we got into that, but I like literally, I'm super passionate about it, as you can tell, and I'm really excited about this. So the clearing cohort goes live on January the 14th. You're going to be hearing about it. It's going to be all over my socials. It's going to be all over here on YouTube. It's going to be all over the YouTube community tab. So stay tuned because it is coming. Their spaces for it are very limited. They're only like 8 spaces each month per cohort. So if you want to get that and you're interested, which I think you will be, wait till you see what I got for you, baby. I'm so excited. Anyway, for your love and relations, you've got the 9 of Cups, right? So 9 of Cups is a beautiful card because it represents healing, right? So if any of these problems or issues that I've talked about arise within the relationship, there's a chance for you to mend it this week. It will take some very frank conversation. It will take some real deep honesty. Some of it will be you having to be committed to really looking at yourself. Some of it will be having to be really committed to speaking the truth to a partner, a colleague, a friend, a family member. And it's really hard, right? If you're at least half a decent human being, when you have to say something to somebody that you know is probably going to hurt their feelings, but they need to hear it and you need to say it to them, it can be really challenging to traverse those things. But if you don't, 1, you rob yourself of your voice. 2, you rob that person of the ability to grow. And 3, you rob the relationship that you have with that person the ability to transcend the problem or the issue that's arisen, right? It's not always comfortable. This is, you know, it's the moment where you have to say to your partner, actually, you know what, I feel like you need to start helping out at home a bit more. It's the part of it where you have to say to your employee, you know, I'm going to need you to really pull your socks up and pull your finger out and get on with it. It's where your friend says to you, you know what, I really like you, I really love you, I really like you, but at the same time, like, sometimes the way that you speak to me is out of order, or the way that you treat people is really wrong, and you need to fucking fix it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's those hard conversations, and I'll tell you this for nothing, right? The people that really love you, the people that really care about you, I get passionate about this because I know it to be true. The people that really are there for you, they'll be the ones that give you the hard time. If you want someone to stroke your ego and kiss your ass every 5 minutes, the whole world is full of yes men and women, right? You want somebody that's going to give you the harsh reality and the truth, that's the sort of person that really genuinely cares about you. And don't get me wrong, this ain't about standing back and letting people be gratuitously, like, don't letting someone be a gratuitous dick to you. It's not about being a doormat. It's about being in that place where you're cool enough to say, I love you, but this, and this, let's fix it. Right now, For those of you that are single and looking, there is a possibility that you could remediate or heal something between you and an ex. It's not a reconnection, baby. For those of you that are out there like, ooh, yeah, you know what? I'm going to send that I miss you text. It ain't that, right? I'm telling you straight up, it ain't that. But there is a chance for you to bury a hatchet of some sort. And when you can do that kind of mature inner soul work and say, you know what? We aren't ever going to be an item again. We might not be friends again. We might not even be siblings again. But you know what? Whatever there was between us, it's done. It's squashed it. These are my issues. These are your issues. Now we move past it. So I'm here for that. Now, interestingly enough, 2 9s, 9 of swords, 9 of cups, 2 9s represents receipts. So you better bring them, because I'm going to tell you, whoever the other party is, they've got them too. For your money and materials, you have the Page of Swords. Right. This is a time sequence. So I'm going to tell you, whatever you're working on when it comes to your money, your finances and your resources, you will be seeing this or seeing it through or completing it when we get into late September, early October of 2024. So pay attention to all the conversations that you're having around money, finances and resources, because whatever you're setting into motion, whatever some of these challenges are, they'll have a big bearing on that time of this year. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, the Page of Swords is an interesting one for physical health and vitality, because it usually is where our mind is so active that the body bears the brunt of it. But I will say, if you're feeling gratuitously tired, I'm not a doctor, I can't give you medical advice, and this is not a diagnosis, but if you are feeling sort of under the weather, maybe ask the doctor to check your kidneys. All right. When it comes to your home and environment, where you live, how you live there, lots of considerations here about contracts, where you live, how you live there, who owns the place, who doesn't owns the place, you know, what the contract is. There's just so much going on here around the home when it comes to paperwork, documentation and the like. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Happy damn New Year to you. Take care, and I will see you soon.